Hey everyone, it is about 11:45 on this Thursday, September 6th. As you can see up there, I got some WWE TNA news for today. First of all, let's start with the TNA news. As you're pretty much aware by now, Devon apparently is done with the TNA with Impact Wrestling. There is word going around that he may go back to WWE, not as a wrestler, but as an agent, prospect, trainee, a prospector, if you know what I mean. Someone that, because he and Bully Ray's Team 3D Academy, he'd be the kind of say, hey, I want to bring you to WWE, that you sign, kind of get a developmental deal and see where you go from there. That's what some people are reporting, but because apparently, as we all know, Devon is gone. Now, in light of this, a lot of people are saying, it's being reported, that because of Devon's departure, when he was still currently television champion, TNA is now considering dropping the television title. Completely. Dropping it, just putting it into retirement, if you know what I mean. Now, some people might look at that, in my honest opinion, and think, well, that's not a good sign if you're going to take a championship and put it into retirement already. That doesn't, that's not a good sign for your company. Well, actually, it's not too bad. Actually, it's not too bad, because let's look at it this way. They have way too many championships as it is. Right? They have the world title, they have the X Division title, they have the tag titles, they have the Knockouts title, and believe it or not, they have the Knockouts tag team titles. So that's basically 5 championships right there. Getting rid of the television championship may not be as bad as people think. Because let's take a look at it in a sense, if we will. The television championship was actually created on television by Booker T when he was part of TNA. He's the one that brought it in as the Legends title. Then it evolved, became the global title, then evolved and became the television title. So in other words, it's already gone through 3 different incarnations, from Legends to global to television. So it only makes sense that they drop the title and just let it be. Now, I'm not saying they're necessarily going to do that, but that's the report because of Devon's departure. That they're just going to drop the title completely. Sort of similar to what happened with Ming Haku. 1 week before the Royal Rumble 2001, Ming wins the hardcore title, the WCW hardcore title, at Sin. Then, a week later, he appears in the WWE at the Royal Rumble. Now, some people have said, and it probably is true, that because of his departure, storyline-wise, he gave the title to his friend the Barbarian. Okay, I'm fine with that. But here's the deal. I never saw the title defended after that. I mean, at least when Jim Duggan, give him credit, found the TV title in the trash, the WCW TV title, at least he defended it when he could. Now besides that, other TNA news, Luke Gallows has finally officially signed with TNA, so that's pretty good. That's good for him. The only question is now, are they going to take him out of the Aces and Eights storyline or keep him as part of Aces and Eights? Well, not storyline, but out of the group, but keep him part of it. We don't know yet. Obviously, they're going to keep him part of it. And also, as far as tonight goes, you probably heard about this already. TNA, via Hulk Hogan, has announced a new concept for Impact once a month. In addition to Open Fight Night happening once a month, you're also going to have 2 weeks, apparently, basically 2 weeks after Open Fight Night, you're going to have Championship Thursday. That's right. Championship Thursday to occur, apparently from what it looks like, 2 weeks after Open Fight Night. And basically what it is that Hulk Hogan is going to choose out of a selected group of challengers to face whatever champion he decides they should face. Like tonight, they got Kazarian and Daniels defending the title, but they don't know who they're facing yet. They don't know who they're facing yet, and the teams go from Robbie E, Robbie T, AJ Styles and a partner of his choosing, Chavo Hernandez, and I think one other team, I can't think of it right now. But the teams are being talked about. So those are the teams that Hogan will choose tonight to face Kazarian or Daniels for the titles. So that's the news coming from, so that's one bit of news. So that sounds like a good concept. We just don't know how good of a concept it's going to turn out to be. I think it might have some, I think it's very positive. I think it's going to be a very positive move because I think obviously it will be, like I was saying, obviously it's going to be a very positive move because, you know, that's what you need to do to really get people's attention. You need to have a championship match to where the champion or champions don't know who they're facing. Now, as one other bit of TNA news, and this shouldn't come as no surprise either, but former knockout champion, I think she was a former knockout champion, Winter, is no longer part of TNA. Winter, Katie Lee Burchill, to WWE fans, no longer part of TNA Wrestling. The question is now, will she go back to WWE? Will she go and perform for Ring of Honor or Shimmer? Will she perform for Wrestlelicious or whatever promotion? Will she go overseas? Who knows? But she is right now no longer part of the company. Which again, shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody, seeing as though she hasn't been on television for a while. But that takes care of the TNA news. Let's talk about WWE news and rumors. The WWE news, the first news reported by Sean's View Entertainment earlier today is the tension between Triple H and Vince McMahon. This shouldn't come as no surprise. You know, in my response to his video about McMahon going nuts backstage on Raw, it shouldn't come as no surprise. You see, Vince McMahon is the kind of guy, give him credit if you give him credit for what he's done. But he's the kind of guy that's not willing to admit when his time is coming. Doesn't want to admit that his time of being in charge of running the company is coming to an end and that he needs to step down, retire, and live life. He's not the kind of guy that's willing to admit that, and that's why he kind of has these moments, and even starts to have, as it's being reported, tension with his own son-in-law. Because see, Triple H has even come out, according to what Sean said, and said, hey, look, I look better as a heel. I look better as a heel than a babyface. Now, Triple H is right. He can be a damn good heel. He can be a damn good heel. I mean, I became a Triple H fan when he was a heel. I liked that side of Triple H because it was a Triple H that did whatever it took to win, did whatever it took to succeed. But McMahon also, like Sean says, has a point. Since Triple H is only part-time now, it wouldn't make sense. If it was full-time, it would. Part-time, no. Doesn't make sense. You can only be a babyface. And that might be true, but you see, but again, that all is just rumored speculation. It's just rumored news of the tension. But again, it shouldn't come as a surprise, seeing as though Vince knows his time is coming, but doesn't want to admit it. And doesn't probably want to admit that, yeah, Triple H, you're right, you are better as a heel, but, listen here, but, in until you decide whether you want to be full-time, as well as run, and I guarantee Vince McMahon said something to him like, well, I agree, Paul. You know, you're great as a heel, but unless you can balance out a full-time wrestling schedule and running this company, it won't work. So that's why you can only be part-time. That won't work. So that's why you got to be a babyface, because you're only part-time. And apparently that's the best solution, I guess. Again, until they figure something out. But let's take a look at it this way, though. Vince McMahon was the biggest heel in the business. And he was only part-time when he competed. And he barely competed. And when he did, well, he did compete, but he was also a full-time effective heel. So Triple H doesn't really necessarily, and I think that's what Triple H is trying to bring across to him as well. The fact that, hey, I could do what you did. I don't have to be a full-time performer in the ring, but I could still be a heel, even at part-time. So we'll see what happens. And also, if you don't know as well, Triple H shaved his head, so got a haircut to where his locks are gone. I don't know if that's got to do with the storyline or a movie role or what's going on. But I thought it looked good. Obviously I think it looks like, I like it. I think it's a decent haircut. So we'll see where he goes with it. Also, being reported out of WWE is the general manager storyline. Apparently, the storyline, apparently within WWE, the feeling of the storyline involving both general managers AJ Lee and Booker T is, well, with one storyline, the Raw storyline with AJ, where she's being looked at as unstable, crazy, and probably not fit to be the general manager. And with the SmackDown one being with Booker T being sued by announcers, the feeling within WWE as far as the storyline goes is that Vince McMahon will come out to the ring, storyline-wise, one day, and fire both Booker T and AJ and put one person solely in charge of both shows. That's the consensus within WWE. That's the feeling within WWE, that Vince McMahon will come out and fire both AJ and Booker T from their positions as general managers and hire one person to take over both shows. Now, that's the feeling within. Now, we don't know if that's going to come to fruition or not, because you got to remember, Booker T is over with the crowd in some ways. So is AJ. But here's the thing. Will they still be over if they get pulled? If they get fired, storyline-wise? We don't know that yet. But that's the feeling within WWE as far as the storyline involving the general managers goes. That they'll probably be fired as the GMs and replaced by one individual, which nobody knows who that could be. Basically a big name. The only hint was it could be a big name that takes over. That's all we know. One big name that will take over both shows. If the feeling within WWE about the storyline in the direction it's going, or they feel it's going, comes to pass. Another thing is Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. The reason this is happening, the reason Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara are teaming up a lot is to hide the fact, is to kind of keep Rey hidden. Rey right now is not 100% from what's been reported, and him being teamed up with Sin Cara helps him kind of work back to 100%. The plan, some of the plans, the main plan is to have them face each other at WrestleMania 29. Now the match originally was supposed to be planned out to happen at this year's past WrestleMania, but because both were injured, it didn't come to pass. The plan is for them to still go through with the plan, have the match at WrestleMania, hand out luchador masks to the fans, have them wear it, do it before and I think during the match, or something like There's also some alternative plan. There's also some like steps they want to take towards this. Like, you know, they want to continue teaming them up. Probably have them win the tag titles before they go their separate ways and face each other. So, but the question is, should the match happen, how will it happen? Well, the way it looks like to me is they may go towards a face versus face feud. And what I mean by that is it'll sort of be like when Eddie and Ray faced each other at 21. It was tag champion against tag champion, face versus face. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went in that direction, because both are over with the fans, both are very over with the kids. So that would pretty much be to me that would be a sealed deal right there. But again, the plan is for them to keep teaming up, probably win the tag titles, and then go their separate ways. Maybe do a handshake. According to some fans, some commenters on the article, maybe shake hands and have a babyface versus babyface luchador match at WrestleMania 29, with the crowd being handed some luchador masks to wear. So that's the plan right now as far as Ray and Sin Cara goes, and the reason why they're being teamed up. So that's all the WWE news that I know of right now. That's all I can say about it. If you have any responses, comments, video responses, go ahead and put them down below, and I will talk to you all later.